Welcome back everyone, and as you know, TMS has made somewhat of a reputation taking up and talking about important issues and causes, and keeping up with that tradition, this morning we are going to discuss in detail a legislation close to my heart because it concerns us, the working women, and the Protection Against Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2010 was successfully signed in March this year, and although that in itself was a huge achievement, having come after almost a decade of campaigning and struggle, we need to now make sure not only that this law is understood and implemented, but also that it instills in women courage to speak up so that they are able to use the mechanisms this law provides. And we have just the right people to do that bidding. Please welcome Dr. Fouzia Saeed, eminent women's rights activist who spearheaded the campaign to get this historic bill passed. And joining Dr. Fouzia is veteran artist of television and theatre, as well as a great proponent of women's rights herself, Samina Ahmed. Hello ladies, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Fine.
You are beaming. I know from Dr. Fouzia at least that whenever we do talk about, this bill, she is very in a very celebratory mood.
Yes.
So that is what is happening today.
Positive things should be celebrated.
Absolutely, absolutely. In a nutshell, let's go back into this, act,
yes,
and do tell us about it, but a kind of a refresher
okay, as to what it is.
Audience. Yeah.
Okay. The Act actually mandates every organization, may it be government or private, to have a code of conduct which actually criminalizes sexual harassment, and to institute a 3-member committee, and that is where all the employees will take their grievances to. This is like a grievance committee, and also to display this comprehensive code of conduct in a lounge or some kind of a place where all the employees have access to it.
So they know that if anything like that happens, they know
the mechanism. Yeah, the mechanism should be set, instituted, and then people should be informed about it. So that is one law. And if there is any complaint, like if the committee doesn't handle the issue properly, then there will be an ombudsman outside the organization where the person can go. So that is one.
All right.
But then the issue was how to cover the women in the informal sector and in the streets, in the markets, because sexual harassment is very common everywhere. So for that, in Pakistan Penal Code, we got one amendment in section 509 that defines it and declares it a criminal offense punishable by 5 lakh rupee fine or 3 years of imprisonment.
So you actually covered all avenues.
Yes.
Lovely. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, Samina Ahmed, I was reading, not that we need to know more about you. Everybody has seen you for a very long time. You've done great work. But I read this about you. Now, Samina Ahmed claims she can never be made to partake in a venture that she cannot relate to as a person. So I know that your heart was really in it when you started working with Dr. Fouzia.
Yeah.
How was it? How was it? And with your work in media and education, how did you feel this was needed?
I think all kinds of protections, whatever we can, are needed for women. The women are very marginalized and a very disadvantaged group. I mean, we keep on saying that there is a lot of respect in our culture, and look, we open doors for women and things like that. But when you come to the ground reality, that is not so. There are laws which are discriminating against women, and we have been campaigning against the Hudud laws, and so whatever, and particularly in the last decade, 2-3 decades, I would say that women have been forced into being sort of apologetic about their very existence. And if you go out on the street and if you are a working woman, there is some kind of a taboo.
Right, right. Yeah. But in your experience also in media, and I do want to know, because obviously it affects me as well. I'm in media. This was needed, this was much needed, because without an organization or a committee, as you say, without it, women were not encouraged to actually even speak up.
I think it's very necessary to have some kind of protection at the workplace, so that,
It has a deterrence value as well,
yes,
I
yes,
think.
yes.
When you have something like that, I mean, I guess things would probably, the numbers would come down, wouldn't they?
And more women would be encouraged, and they will feel safer at working. And they would, you know, the kind of things that they face at the workplace would slowly eliminate. And I mean, if you're feeling safer, and if you're not all the time, your energies are not going into protecting yourself,
You can
then
actually
you can do
concentrate
more.
on your work as
Be
well.
more creative.
Be more creative, be more efficient, be more aware of what you are doing, and realize your true potential.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dr. Fouzia, you are also the chairperson, I would say, National Implementation Committee.
Watch committee, yes.
And implementation is the thing. We have laws for absolutely everything in the country, but it's the implementation that usually lacks, something lacks over there. So tell us how this is going, because I know that if you are behind it, then things must be moving fast.
Actually, the support we got from the government in the process of getting this legislation passed, forming it, improving it, passing it, that momentum has continued. And we thought that it is important to have some kind of a committee, and the Prime Minister himself is very interested, and through the Prime Minister's Secretariat, a lot of leverage is being used, and he advised to form a committee, and it was formed on the platform of National Commission on the Status of Women.
Okay.
And this committee has about 20 people. Partially very high-powered government people, from media, from the civil society, working women themselves. So this is a committee which has members who are really committed to act.
Okay.
So we meet every 3 months and monitor what is going on. And during those 3 months, it's not as if we don't do work. During those 3 months, the relevant members really chase the key stakeholders. For example, for example, we have talked to the State Bank of Pakistan, which is kind of a regulatory body for all the banks in the country, and they agreed, they were totally convinced, they themselves complied, but they have issued a notification to all the banks in the country to comply with the law and do X, Y, Z, whatever is necessary. Now the banks are immediately, they have become very active. And they're forming their committees, because we know that, because then they contact us for materials, posters and things, and trainings that we keep offering. Similarly, PEMRA has issued guidelines for all the media organizations. So one by one, different regulatory bodies. Health Ministry has issued guidelines to all the hospitals and medical centers. Education ministries are very active, both provincial and federal, and they are issuing guidelines to all the colleges and schools that come under it.
Right. I have gotten feedback from my friend who works in a bank, and she said that, there was a meeting called a couple of months back, and there was this committee made. So I think that is working out. I've seen, effects of it as well.
We are like hawks, we keep, we keep eyes. Also, ASHA has this very elaborate website. ASHA, the Alliance Against Sexual Harassment. It has a very elaborate website, and all kinds of documentation is available there. So I would like to even give the URL here at your show.
Sure, please.
Because organizations can contact, and they can just download Urdu, English materials, download the Comprehensive Code of Conduct. The URL is www.asha.org.pk.
All right, great. We are going to also put it up on our Facebook TMS page.
They can download guidelines, step-by-step instructions, the code of conduct, whatever they need is there.
Okay, Samina, I'll come to you here, and again from your own, digging in your own experience now. So after a lot of struggle, committees are formed that not only, help out with the sexual harassment cases, they deter such cases as well. Do women take, the opportunity to actually report these cases as well? Because the idea is to inform the women too, that, okay, this is there for you, this is what all comes under harassment. A lot of women are actually not even aware, okay, would this be harassment or not? How do we go about educating them?
I think Fouzia would be better able to answer whether there have been cases which are reported or not, because they're the people who are monitoring.
Okay, Dr. Fouzia.
We have 6 legal aid centers that ASHA has established for this purpose only in Multan, Karachi, Hyderabad, Peshawar, Islamabad, Lahore. Women are approaching that, and they do get help. We do have lawyers there, so I want to let everybody know that legal help is also there. They are doing things on their own also, and the committees that have been formed, we know more of the government right now because the federal ministries were really the first lot. And most of the ministries already have their mechanism set in. They started getting complaints. The police, within themselves, you know, for the staff, they have started getting complaints and they are getting resolved.
So basically you're saying that women are getting strength from this law, that they are saying, okay, fine, there is something to protect us out there and we can actually go and report, because of course there is such intimidation as well in workplaces that many people, many women wouldn't even talk against anybody.
I would say, Huma, that the process has started.
Okay.
Because we still have to deal with a lot of social pressure and the blaming of women and all that kind of stuff, you know. So what I'm saying is that it is not that after the passage of the laws things have not moved. Things are moving with a very steady pace. What we need is for more women to actually have some faith in the system and the mechanism and come out and speak.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to ask you both a question, because a lot of, when we were, you know, preparing for this topic, a lot of men out there were saying that this might even get women the chance to misuse this law as well, because a lot of women also go out of their way to get some favors, to get ahead in, I mean, it's, you know, it's like we have to discuss both sides of the coin. So I hope that this wouldn't be against men. This law somehow will not discriminate men.
Not at all. I think this is against a behavior. It is not against men or women. First thing is that the law covers both men and women. So
I'm glad you said that, because, you know, with the women word
in the title,
you know, in the title, it does
deceptive.
seem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's just that I think because the whole impetus was from the women and the women parliamentarians and all that. But no, if you look at the text of both the laws, it clearly says, it uses the word person or employee or anyone like that.
It's not gender specific.
Yes, it is not. And we made sure it was not, because I think anybody who experiences sexual harassment needs to come out and complain. The other thing is that people were very concerned about lies. But we say people lie about every crime, about theft, about murder, so they get caught, you know, and whatever consequences they face will be there too. The inquiry committee is, you know, it has its own procedure for inquiry. If it is a lie, they should really find out.
That's true.
Yeah. So one shouldn't, I just feel that lying doesn't really come out in the discussions of any other law but anything that protects women. So it gets a bit overplayed.
Right. Samina Ahmed, again tapping in your, you know, experience, you have been spearheading the Arts Council, Al-Hamra Arts Council as well here in Lahore. You have been involved with educational institutions as well. How will this bill, you know, help out in such places, especially, you know, with regards to artists, media personalities in education institutions?
But I hope that it will make a lot of difference, because there are bad areas in there, and in the media, in entertainment particularly, there are areas. But I think if this is implemented and if it takes hold, then it will make a difference. And I think we will have a healthier atmosphere, healthier areas where we can work.
And how about imparting the information? Again, you know, that's the thing. There is the law. Women need to know that there is this law for you.
Yes.
So any, you know...
Well, from a start, one could start from schools, colleges, universities. If it is taught, explained, introduced in colleges where there are women, where there are boys, and if the boys also know that there is a law, they will not also venture out on such adventures.
That's right.
So you see, it needs a lot of awareness.
You feel
and
that
it's not going to, I mean, let's be very clear, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 2 days. And it will take a long time, and the success would be to continue working till the whole mindset changes, and the law is not there to punish, or you know that it must be used and it has to be implemented, and you know it just needs, it is there at the back of your mind or at the back of your society to protect.
That's true. Okay, I can imagine that, you know, such things should be not told to a person, it should be a part of their upbringing, you know, what things have to be done, what can be done, what are not good things. Do you feel, Samina Ahmed, that this probably could become part of the curriculum in a way where students, you know, could be trained a certain way, because obviously probably their upbringing is, you know, it doesn't help everybody all the time.
It would be very good if it becomes part of the curriculum. It would be. I mean, if you like to have half an hour or 1 hour for art or for music or for social studies or for social behavior, if that is introduced, that there is this law and this is the code and this is how it works and this is the behavior code that you have to adopt. It would start changing the mindset of the younger people.
Right.
And that is, I think it is very important to start inculcating these kind of values
Right.
again into
Going back
ourselves,
to
going back
absolutely,
The ethics, you know, that we are forgetting fast.
That's right, and I don't think there's anything bad with it, you know. I mean, I think this could be probably a way. What do you think, Dr. Fouzia? It could be started in a, you know, obviously that is taking it a step further, but maybe educating it in a
Part
real
of the socialization.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I forgot one sticker I had brought for you. It said, "Real men do not harass women." And I'm going to send it to you and you'll put it on your car, okay?
Nice, right.
Because we are coming up with a lot of bumper stickers, a lot of materials.
That's
and
a good
brochures.
one.
Yeah, real men do not.
And we need to put that on cars. Definitely. But again, you know, talking of implementation, do you think this would work if it became, in a sense, maybe part of a curriculum?
Yes. I think somehow as part of the ethics, as how also if teachers can actually take care of how young girls and boys interact with each other, same thing at the college level, just managing the learning environment in a way where men and women can respect each other, I think can go a long way. You know, as part of a curriculum and also as how they conduct their classes and how things are handled. HEC is, Higher Education Commission, is in the process of finalizing their anti-sexual harassment policy, and it is complying with the law also, and they will be coming up with that very soon. And then how the universities actually implement it and how they handle. See, initial cases are just so crucial, and that I want to say through your program to all the managements, that initial cases, how they handle those complaints in the first year are so important, because I think
They're setting a precedent as well by doing that.
because what Samina said is so important, that it is not punitive, it is a deterrent, it is the mindset that is created by this legislation. And so 1 or 2 cases after that, I don't think that they have to deal with the cases as much as the psychological impact it would have, that this is not done. And the thing we want to really induce is that guys who do sexual harassment, they are not cool at all. We also have a sticker that,
I'm glad you said that.
be cool, do not sexually harass women. Because, you know, that era of being a hero, harassing women and being a hero is over.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
guys
of
need
course.
to change
Samina,
their
but
cool
I'll
acts.
quickly come to you and then we have to wrap up. But do you think, and I hope not, but do you think our media or our television plays or whatever, you know, the way we have projected, and media has really boomed in Pakistan, we have maybe encouraged it in a way where it's all right to whistle around a girl or, you know, chase her that way, something like that. Do you think we have kind of...
I don't think so. I don't think that is a value that has been promoted to a vast degree. I don't think so. Not in the entertainment
Just
side,
in
not
like
in
humor,
drama,
maybe.
anything like that.
Film side, maybe not the place.
Not the place.
Not television. I think the values of respecting women and of treating them as you know, equal partners is there in television.
Well, I hope then, you know, people take heat from here as well, because we've seen some slapstick comedy in Pakistan as well, really encouraging people in the opposite direction.
The hero image.
Exactly. You know, the way you're saying, it's not very fun to do that. It
Women
shouldn't
have
be.
become very intelligent now. They don't like these kinds of
Oh,
advances.
absolutely. Please take notice. But once again, I will say again, because this is revelation for me as well, that this bill is for men as well. Although there is the word women over there, but it helps men out too.
Absolutely.
Great. Dr. Fouzia Saeed, thank you very much for coming here. Samina Ahmed, thank you very much for taking out the time for this very important issue and cause. You're doing a great job, both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We are going to catch you right after this very short break. And yeah, don't go anywhere.